steps that we can share that will help you answer some of your pressing questions when it comes to connecting with a hostile family member, receiving and giving a message, and whether you should or shouldn't give the message. So I would have a conversation with those who are nudging you to reach out to this person and give a reading. I would first say, this is not the right time or place. If you want me to give them a reading, you talk to those people. Hey everyone, I wanted to share a quick question that came in from one of our students in my Multifaceted Soul Society community. So this is a community that I have that I teach people how to develop their God-given gifts and abilities. And everyone has them. We're all psychics, we're all mediums. You just have to learn this skill set. And the thing is, it doesn't instantly make you a medium. Then you have to develop. So learning it is one thing, and I have an amazing course. If you've not yet checked it out, check it out below. It's at a really low price, the lowest it'll ever be. You might be seeing this at a later date, and even if it's gone up, it's still the lowest price it'll ever be. So you definitely want to jump on board and check that out. It gives you a step-by-step walkthrough of the basics so you understand when we meet in the community how to use your development and how to expand upon it and how to grow within your mediumship. And this is also using your intuition and all the different clairs that you have and learning how to connect with your spirit loved ones, right? So a lot of people are simply curious and maybe they don't want to be a medium. And a lot of people are also either grieving, maybe you've lost a loved one and you just really want to know that they're still here on this earth. They're just in a different form. It's like they've stepped into another room. And that's really cool too, because that's what I teach. I teach the curious. I teach those who are grieving. I teach those who actually want to become mediums like me, a professional medium who gives and receives messages and where people come to you for readings, for energy healing sessions, for coaching. I also do one-on-one coaching. It's a great way if you don't want to be inside a group, although I will encourage you to get in my group once you do the coaching because the community is where the energy lies. That's where you grow. That's where you truly evolve as a medium. I tried to practice and develop on my own for years, probably like 10 years. I sat by myself with the spirit world and I worked with them. And it was a great way to learn, but I found I expanded and excelled so much faster once I joined a community. Since I couldn't find that right community, I was in many and they're all were great. I learned a lot what I loved. I learned a lot what I didn't love. And what I realized, there was something missing, and that something missing was the nurturing that I needed. And I'm a highly sensitive empath who needed like somebody to hold me by the hand, somebody to give me a little pat in the back, and somebody to hug me when I was having a hard time. I found the groups I was in just didn't offer enough of that. They gave you a little bit and it was great, but I needed more. And so I decided, because Spirit nudged me, to open this group that I have now, which is the Multifaceted Soul Society. So I encourage you, if you are one of the people who, if this is resonating with you, or even if you're just seeing it, Spirit is nudging you. You would not be seeing this, you would not be here on my channel. So if you've not yet subscribed, make sure you hit the bell, make sure you hit the notification. So as I share more and more content, you will be notified. But I wanted to first address this question from an amazing person named Violet in our community. I think it's a really great question, and I love when our students ask questions. Sometimes my email list, people on there will also ask questions, and they're not even in my community yet. But I encourage you, if you're hearing this and this is resonating, get in the community, take the course. It's a great way for you to learn to develop these gifts and abilities. I think this is something we should have all learned in childhood. And it's a shame that our teachers didn't teach us this in school, because it would have made us much more prepared to deal with life, especially grief and death. And, you know, our loved ones are all going to leave us one day. We're all going to leave one day. And so wouldn't it be nice if we could understand how that works so that when we transition or when others transition, we could actually help explain that to them? So here's the thing. My friend Violet, and thank you, Violet. Thank you for asking this great question, because I know if you have this question, others have it too. And the fact that all of you are watching this, there are no accidents. It's only synchronicity. So I'm going to read the question and then I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability from my personal experience as a medium for over 2 decades. And this started for me, maybe it started for you, when I was like 5 years old that I can remember. So it's been even longer, but as a practicing medium, it's been over 2 decades. So Violet's question is, hey Lisa, quick question for you. What do you tell your passed on loved ones when they want you to have a conversation from them to a really hostile family member? Great question. I told her this is a great question, but I also wanted to know a little bit more because I wanted to be able to address this in detail. So then she proceeded to let me know that she does a lot of automatic writing every day. And the last message that she received from her spirit people asking her to give a reading to a family member who would not be open to this. She says that they were begging her to give a reading to a family member who would not be open to my friend Violet doing this at all for them. So here's the thing, Violet, and for anyone else watching out there. First of all, I believe from what I've learned with the spirit world, we have to have etiquette. So the spirit world can ask all they want. We are in charge. We are in the living. The spirit world is in the spirit world. They can't control us. They can't make us do things. They can suggest, but 9 times out of 10, you really want to use your intuition to tune into that. And is it real? Is it the ego self? I'm not saying it's your ego self, but a lot of times spirit won't nudge us like completely to do something that's against our will. They can share with us a thought. Maybe they are trying to encourage you to see if this person would open up, but it is not our place as the medium to reach out. Even if we get the message from the spirit world, it is not our place, etiquette wise, right? Using our etiquette to be like, quote, Long Island medium. She's a great medium. Please don't get me wrong in saying that. The reason I say Long Island medium is because she has a TV show where she goes, oh my God, I see your grandmother, and her lips start going, and next thing you know, she's connecting with someone, and she just walks up and goes, I think your grandmother's in spirit, or I see your grandmother, or whatever she says. Basically, she's not asking them if they want a reading. She's not even waiting until they come to her as a medium, because it's a TV show and you have to sell something that sells, and people want shock and awe. When you work with the spirit world, you have to do it in reverence and kindness, and to me, in compassion, complete compassion. And in order for you to give a reading to someone, my personal opinion is I would set the intention with the spirit world. So I would have a conversation with those who are nudging you to reach out to this person and give a reading. I would first say, this is not the right time or place. If you want me to give them a reading, you talk to those people in the living. You put it out there that they should ask me about readings. If they don't ask you about them, or they don't come to you to book a personal reading as a professional medium, and if you're not doing it professional, that's fine. But still, setting the intention with the spirit world. When I point back, I'm saying with the spirit world, right? The spirit people who are speaking to Violet, or maybe to you, if you're seeing this video. If they are asking you to talk to someone and give a message, and that person has never requested a message from you, that is absolutely not etiquetely correct in the thing to do, because you should never be giving messages without being asked to do that. First of all, I will never give message without being booked to do a session and being paid, because it is a job. I get paid to do this. This is part of what I do for a living. And some people may say, oh, you should do it free. It's a gift. That is absolutely false and untrue. I studied for years, 2 decades, and spent a ton of money to get really good at what I do. And it's a skill set we all can learn. It's like any other job. It's something you learn that you're able to do. You should be paid for it, but that's a different topic. So I want to stick one with Violet. And the question that she asked, do we give a message to someone who maybe hasn't asked for it, or how do we go about it? The best way that I found to do that is literally to tell the spirit world, why don't you, if you want me to connect with them, you need to reach out to the living. So the spirit world needs to reach to the living. They need to have the living person connect with you, the medium, and say, have them ask about your mediumship. And that person who you think is so closed, you may have a conversation with them, and they may say, oh, wow, I just had this feeling that I should ask you something, or how's your mediumship going? Or are you still doing automatic writing? Like, what is that stuff you do? And you're like, okay, that's totally crazy. They would have never asked that before. But now all of a sudden, because you've set the intention with the spirit world to reach out and ask the question to the living person in the living, now they're reaching out to you and they want to know more. When someone wants to know more, that's when the door to spirit should be opened. And that is the only time when the spirit world door should be opened. First of all, I never give readings out and about. Very rarely. Spirit might come in as a hello from heaven, but very rarely do I give an actual full out reading, just being out. Like I could be flying on a plane or walking down the street. I am totally not picking up people's spirit people. That, my friends, is healthy boundaries. And if you are doing that, I highly recommend you check out my course. get into our community and practice, because that is not the way to do mediumship. First of all, it's draining your energy. And then second of all, if the person's not open to it, and think of this, you go and give a reading to this person who is totally against you doing this, they're going to shut you down. How shitty does that feel? Excuse my French, but how shitty does that feel? It feels awful when someone can't receive what it is you're giving. Have you ever tried, because you have the feeling that you know what someone needs, you know more of what they need than they know, and then you put yourself out there and you're like, hey, but I heard this thing and this might help you, and they're like, no, and next thing you know, they're just wanting to run from you because they feel like you're pushing things completely down their throat, and no one wants to be forced into something they didn't ask for. So remember that walking forward into your mediumship, setting the intention with spirit is everything. Telling the spirit world if they are asking, and it is not just your ego self. And, I don't say that to be mean, but a lot of times, let me talk about the ego self for a minute. A lot of times we think we're getting a message from the spirit world because our ego mind gets in the way, and we start getting almost a little, and I'm not saying this to hurt anyone, but we almost get a little delusional in our mind. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that when you're bringing in the spirit world, it can be really confusing. Is it the spirit world? Is it me? Is it my higher self? Is it my ego self? There's a lot of different selves in there you're connecting with. And then you have the spirit world. So differentiating that is a big thing. And Violet, you may totally understand that you are definitely connecting with the spirit world, and that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to address that for the people who maybe don't understand that, because this is a channel for people who are kind of beginners to intermediate, maybe even advanced too. I've been doing this so long, who knows? I'm sharing all kinds of things that come in. So if it makes sense to you, that's great. It doesn't matter where you are on your path. You can definitely learn something here. So the reason I share that is because I think people need to come in, they have to ask you. And when they ask you, they're going to be open, right? You're open, they're open, the door to the spirit world is open, and the message then can come through, and it will come through with love and light and compassion. If it's anything less, walk away, my friends, run for the hills. First of all, whenever you have a reading with a medium, a professional medium, or a professional intuitive, or a professional psychic, they should leave you happier than when you came to them. So when you come to them, you might not be that happy, right? And when you leave, you should be elated. You should be like you're walking on cloud nine. You just connected with the spirit world. You just had an amazing session. Some of them aren't maybe knock your socks off amazing, but you felt the energy of the spirit world if it's a mediumship session. If it's a psychic session, you receive some guidance, some clarity that really validates what you were already receiving. And if it's an intuitive reading, then you're feeling what the intuitive is feeling, or you're aware of things, or maybe you just have more clarity. No matter what, in all of that, you're going to be leaving happier than when you came to them. So just keep that in mind. I think that's a really good tip. Hostile family members, right? Let's address that. So we all have someone probably in our family, or we know someone who knows someone or has someone in their family who is maybe a hostile family member, maybe not open to the spirit world. This is probably going to be the person that you don't want to push, okay? Especially when it has to do with a belief system. I call it BS, right? A lot of it is an old BS. It's old BS, an old belief system that we were taught. And so another thing that I want to share that I think is really valuable to this as well, I'm a recovering Catholic. I find that many people I speak with are also recovering Catholics because their belief system keeps them stuck. So whatever your belief system, I'm not here to change it. I'm just here to share with you what I've learned. I grew up Catholic, 12 years of it. Nothing against if you are Catholic, that's fantastic. I just find God is everywhere. Got him back there on a statue. He's on a picture over here. He's out in nature, right? We're all part of God. We're made in his image and likeness. And if Jesus was the biggest medium there was, then we can do that too. So newsflash, right? We're all able to give and receive messages. Just because you can give and receive a message doesn't mean you should. You should truly learn to develop it in a professional way with compassion and of the highest and best good, because you want to leave the person happier than when they came to you. So please remember that. And hostile family members, sometimes they're just not open, or maybe no means not never. It just means not right now. Maybe that's something you address at a later date. Another thing that you can do, this is like 3 different steps, right? One of the other things that you can do is you can talk to their higher self. And I already did another video about this. So I'll just click this in and add it here, and you can see exactly what you should be doing. It's really just connecting in with the higher self and asking, is it okay to connect with that person's higher self? getting a message. And when you receive that message, seeing them float above themselves and having the higher selves have a conversation. It's a really powerful way to connect and be able to receive an answer. If you get a yes, then they're ready to hear you. If you get a no, then it means not right now. Doesn't mean never, it just means not right now. I hope this was helpful. I hope these tips are helping you to learn to develop your gifts and abilities. But if you'd like to learn more, definitely check out my course in the link below. Also attach it in the description. And if you have a question yourself, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for new content to be able to create for you, especially when it comes from people who are curious, students of mediumship, people who are on my email list. If you're seeing this, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below, did this video help you? What was your biggest takeaway from this video? I would love to hear from you. And if you've not yet subscribed, make sure you hit the bell and notification and leave me a comment and a like, and I will talk to you soon. And think about this. Who do you know that we can help with this video? Hit the share button. All right, take care. Brush your hair, my friends. I'm Lisa, the Multifaceted Medium, and I want to thank Violet today for our wonderful question. All right, take care. Peace out. Bye.